Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you say
categorically,
categorically,
question,
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave versus the MSM. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. You can join us on our platform, davejanda.com, 24/7. Extra shows, extra content, extra guests, extra analysis, and plus the archives to all of our shows. You can join us free every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern with our live radio show out of Wham Talk 1600 Studios from 2 to 5. Just go to davejanda.com, hit the Listen Live button. It takes you to Wham Talk 1600 streaming service. Hit play, you're with us. Great guests, great analysis. We hope you'll be part of our Freedom family. The title of today's presentation is called United We Stand. The three words put together that the deep state fears. Why is that? As we have outlined, the deep state's playbook, the foundation of their playbook is divide and conquer. That's right. You see, they know we have the numbers, personnel-wise. They know we actually have the power. The people that they call the useless eaters, the hundreds of millions of us. But the way they maintain control, enhance control, get more of their ever-precious moolah, is by dividing and conquering. Right? Race versus race, male versus female, young versus old, jab versus unjabbed. That's their latest divide and conquer strategy, right? This is how they move their agenda forward, a freedom stripping agenda. So my mom, the history teacher, always said, well, you know, when you start looking at an issue, go back historically on a particular issue that you're researching. Well, let's look at United We Stand, right? United we stand, divided we fall. Okay. And divided if we fall, the deep state wins. United we stand, freedom wins. History of the motto. The popular motto, United we stand, divided we fall, often shortened to United we stand, is commonly used to express unity and collaboration. Exactly what the deep state fears, right? The phrase is used to encourage and inspire and sends the message that working together is easier as there is strength in numbers, whereas doing things alone is harder and invites failure. Its core concept lies in the notion that if individual members of a certain group with binding ideals, such as union, coalition, or alliance, work on their own instead of as a team, they are each destined to fail and will all essentially be defeated over time. This phrase has been used time and time again throughout history to rally groups together, and you will still hear it used today where the message remains the same. Its use in United States history. The first attributed use in modern times is to founding father John Dickinson in his pre-Revolutionary War song, The Liberty Song, first published in the Boston Gazette in July 1768. In the song, Dickinson wrote, quote, "Then join hand in hand, brave Americans all. By uniting we stand, and dividing we fall." See, many people believe that the deep state cannot be beat. I believe the deep state can be beat, but it involves all of us working together on many different fronts. And the deep state works 24/7 at making it so that we are divided. We can have our differences, but they want people at each other's throats. This is why they push the right-left narrative. That's another division technique. And this is why we can't fall into their trap. We can have disagreements, but our ultimate goal is to defeat the deep state. You know, Hollywood is great at this division technique. I mean, we all know, right? Big media, big Hollywood. They are just another tentacle of the deep state. Again, whose role is to divide us. Just watch the nightly news. You hear people say, I never hear anything good on the news. That's by design. Because if you hear something good, it means that people were working together with others. No, they just want to tell you how one individual did harm to another individual. And how, there's nothing you can do to prevent these catastrophic events, or there's nothing you can do to work together. Just think. When was the last time you saw something on the bought-off lamestream fake media that focused on unity? I mean, one of the entities actually where there showed cohesion was with the Olympics, right? Well, look at the message they're delivering. We're talking about the people who are protesting, and we're talking about how many hours are devoted to the people who took a knee or turned their back or have said something negative against the flag representing unity, right? That's what they want to drill into you. I mean, if you happen to watch, and very few people are watching the Olympic coverage this year, according to the statistics, but the minute, for example, an American wins an event and grabs a flag and starts, boom, they cut off. We can't let them see that. Right? Now, if that individual had not taken up a flag or had done something to the flag, we would focus on this for hours and hours and hours and drill home how divided we are. Matthew McConaughey, the actor, lives in Texas. And he recently, on July 4th, gave a birthday message to the United States. It was very, very interesting. And let me give you a couple little essences of it. I played it on on my radio show. And this is from Zero Hedge. Quote, Matthew McConaughey saying that, quote, "The alternative sucks. Matthew McConaughey explains why America is awesome." Oh, this is a message that, the bought-off... Did you hear anybody in the bought-off lamestream fake media talking about what he said? Of course not. They're too busy talking about all the doomsayers and dividers like Mo Donna and some of these other cats, right? Alec Baldwin and all these other people. Come on. Superstar actor and recent addition to the plethora of podcasters, Matthew McConaughey, released his Happy Birthday America message, and they are anything but the usual virtual signaling kowtowing we have come to expect from the celebrity. His thoughts were summarized well in the following sentence that he gave. Quote, "We are all in this together." Can you imagine the deep state? We are all in this together as the capital United States of America. United we stand, right? He goes on, if you don't purchase that, move on. Go somewhere else. In other words, if you're not part of this freedom team, there's the door. Oh, deep state. Can you imagine? Good for Matthew McConaughey, but frankly, his probably movie roles had dried up within about 14 nanoseconds after he did that. And notice how this Biden administration, or whatever the heck it is, this goat rodeo, how they're allowing hundreds of thousands of illegals come through the southern border, but they're discouraging freedom fighters from Cuba to immigrate here. Why? Because those freedom fighters from Cuba would come to the shores of the United States and tell a message that they don't want people to hear. And that is how awful it is in a communist dictatorship like Cuba. Because the business model is to divide and conquer so that the masses have crumbs. They don't want that message coming to shore. Which is why they're saying you cannot go out and meet these people and help them come to our country. You cannot. Meanwhile, on the southern border in Del Rio and around McAllen, Texas, come on, your COVID, come. Right? MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell, who really has been off the rails for years, right? Well, typical deep state puppet. Quote, Cuba's problem is not too much socialism. They have too much dictatorship. What? A recent broadcast of MSNBC's The Last Word host Lawrence O'Donnell argued that Cuba's problem is not too much socialism. Rather, it's that the country is too dictatorial and the dictators have run the country are economically illiterate. Yeah, no, they're not. They're Marxist. Say it. They're Marxist dictators. They don't have too much socialism. Then you have Jen. Now, I mispronounce her name for a purpose. I realize. So don't be putting comments down there. These picky little, it's the name Psaki. Stop it. Jen Psaki and Biden White House refused to blame communism for mass protests in Cuba. White House spokesperson Jen Psaki refused to blame Castro communism for the mass protests in Cuba. That brutal Castro regime has ruled Cuba since 1959. And then we have these lovelies in Black Lives Matter, who, remember, Patrice Cullors, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, stated repetitively, we're Marxist. We've been trained in terrorist activities and Marxism. We're Marxists. Horrible. Black Lives Matter issues statement supporting Marxist Cuban tyranny. Surprised? No. Shocking? Not. Come on. The Black Lives Matter organization has issued a statement clearly aligning itself with the Marxist government's brutal oppression of the Cuban people throughout the country, prompting widespread backlash but little surprise given that BLM itself was founded by avid Marxists. That from Steve Watson at Summit News. But what? So Joe Biden's telling people, don't go to help these people. Don't bring them to our country. No. But what did he do to try to address the problem and the issues, the huge, horrific human rights abuses that are occurring in Cuba? Our people are being pummeled for pushing for freedom. Joe Biden's Cuba plan. A Zoom call with Gloria Estefan and Andy Garcia. No, this isn't something from The Onion. No, it's not from The Onion. It's from Charlie Sperling at Breitbart. The White House recently announced that Joe Biden held a Zoom video conference with Cuban American celebrities in an attempt to organize a policy. Does this sound like Jimmy Carter asking his daughter Amy about nuclear weapons? Is that some ring? Do you remember that? You probably don't. You're probably too young for that. But back in the late 70s, when there were issues with nuclear proliferation, they asked Carter a question about nuclear arms, and he said, "Well, I asked my daughter Amy about this." This is your advisor? Your kid? I mean, your young kid? I mean, same thing. This is the 2021 version of it. The White House announced that Joe Biden held a Zoom video conference with Cuban American celebrities in an attempt to organize a policy in response to nationwide anti-communist protests on the island of Cuba. It's like a bad movie, isn't it? Every day. It's like Groundhog Day, and it's always just a bad day for freedom. So here's how we turn it to be a good day. We focus on united we stand, on uniting, on finding common ground of all of us who value freedom and pushing that agenda. One way we can do that is networking information from the independent media. Get rid of your cable bill. I just saved you over $100. Get rid of it. Gone. Follow the independent media. One avenue is what we do here, and at our website, davejanda.com, and our radio show, Operation Freedom, every Sunday. We hope you become part of our freedom family. United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand is what the deep state truly fears. We can win this, and we will. United we stand. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.